What's up, nerds? I'm Kendrick, your not-so-friendly neighborhood otaku, and welcome to my channel where I talk all things anime, manga, manhwa, webcomics, and cosplay. Today's video is a little different because it's not anime commentary. I was actually one of the presenters on a mini anime panel series called Shounen, Shoujo, and Shenanigans. And my presentation was on the anime to monster fucker pipeline. So that's what we're going to be seeing today. This mini anime panel night was hosted through Anime Social Nexus, which is the largest anime social group for adults in New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. This event was meant to replicate the type of panels you would see at an anime convention, but you don't need to be at a convention to see these, and they're a little bit shorter and more condensed. So unlike how at a convention, you not only have to get your badge, find the panel you want to go to, and you get one panel in an hour, at this event, Shounen, Shoujo, and Shenanigans, you got 3 panels in an hour and a half. Plus, there were a couple of side quests you could complete during the intermissions between the panels. I was hosting the Who's That Pokemon side quest. For that side quest, I was cosplaying Kogamitsuki from the guy she was interested in wasn't a guy at all, so the guest would need to find me and identify at least one of the Pokemon silhouettes that was on the flyer. I then had a bunch of Pokemon cards that I kind of had splayed out, and I had people select one, and that was their prize for guessing one of them correct. So without any further ado, let's get into my panel on the animated monster fucker pipeline, Monstrous Attraction. I'm going to be presenting the last presentation, and it is going to be on Monstrous Attraction, breaking down the anime to monster fucker pipeline. So first of all, hello, my name is Kendrick. I am a self-proclaimed monster fucker, and I think every single one of you are too. And I'm gonna take you on what is probably gonna be a very chaotic journey for some of you, uncovering that, because I will uncover it. Also, the basis of being a monster fucker isn't about the attraction to something that's dangerous or that's monstrous, but more about accepting something that is different or othered. I'm gonna start off with something that really defined a lot of our generation, Twilight. So I want to know, with cheers, were you Team Edward? One person. Okay, everyone else is Team Jacob then? Okay, well, congratulations, you're already a monster fucker. Because neither of those were teenage boys. One is a werewolf and one is a vampire. You were not choosing between which teenage boy you wanted to get with Bella or your own self-insert. You were choosing your own flavor of monster fucker. Now, what exactly is a monster? I broke this down into a couple of very broad terms. First off, anything not human or not entirely human. It also needs to be something that features fantastical, supernatural, or alien traits and features. Now, this can range from your classically monstrous things like the vampires and werewolves to things that are a little bit more unknown. Some things that are more alien-like, they may not even have a shape, they may be amorphous. And for the sake of this presentation, I am going to require that they have some anthropomorphization, so you do have to have an emotional or some other type of connection that you can relate to them with as a human. It's going to be something that we see throughout classic horror stories, throughout anime of all kinds, because anime of all kind has monsters. So why am I talking about monster fuckers at an anime presentation panel? That's because anime has really perfected the archetype of the sexy but dangerous character. There's a trope that we know where they say the hero would sacrifice you to save the world, but the villain would sacrifice the world to save you. That is what anime has really perfected with demon lords, vampire princes, and these other types of characters. Now, the monster archetype itself, as seen both in anime and across horror genres, as I said, is really just meant to be something to represent the yearning of unconditional acceptance. It's meant to show embracing you, flaws and all. Essentially, the biggest would you love me if I was a worm question. And I think there are different levels of monsters, so I'm gonna walk through all of them after I list these levels out here. And I know some people are already cheering for vampires and werewolves. I'm hoping to get you to at least one level farther. So level 1 are humanish, level 2 humanoid, level 3 monstrous, level 4 beastly, and level 5 are our otherworldly eldritch-like characters. So up first with level 1, humanish monsters, these characters are completely indistinguishable from humans. They are able to conceal the trait or feature that they have that marks them as being monstrous. Some examples of this in anime are Alucard from Castlevania, and Eren Yeager from Attack on Titan. I know so many people that simp for Eren Yeager. He's a literal titan. He is not a human boy anymore. Level 2 are humanoid, similarly to the humanish, only they are nearly indistinguishable from humans because there is at least one trait or feature that they cannot hide, whether that be horns or wings or claws. Some examples of this in anime. We have Shion from That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. We have Beelzebub from I've Been Killing Slimes for 300 Years and Maxed Out My Level. We have Inuyasha from Inuyasha, a character that I know so many people simp for because there's a lot of Gunnar art of her. We have Albedo-san from Overlord. And another white-haired, cat-like anime creature that I know was so many people's first crushes, Tomoe from Kami-sama Kiss. All of these characters have horns, pointy ears, fangs, wings, something that they cannot hide that makes them visibly distinguishable from humans, unlike the humanish ones where they can hide those features. Getting into things that are a little bit more different, we have our monstrous monsters. Now, these ones still follow the same humanoid blueprint. There's still a head and a torso with limbs attached, but at first glance, they are clearly not human. You can recognize right away that this is not something that is human. Some examples of this are True Form Sukuna from Jujutsu Kaisen. I know there's a lot of fanfic about this because he has 4 hands and he has mouths on those hands. Another one is Koro-sensei from Assassination Classroom. I have to include this because of tentacle porn in Japan being so popular. I know there's also a bunch of stuff with Koro-sensei in this form. He does briefly have a human form, but this is his main form that he's shown in throughout the series. Moving on to where I'm probably gonna lose people when I ask you what level of monster fuck you are. Level 4, these are beastly monsters. These are large and intimidating and immediately not human. A lot of them, when I was doing the research, were dragons, just to give you an idea. These are characters that maybe do not speak at all. They may speak a different language, it may just be more animalistic, or they may communicate with you directly into your brain. So one example of this is Chimera Fallon from Dungeon Meshi, aka Delicious in Dungeon. And the level that will probably lose you all, level 5, Otherworldly. These creatures are creatures. They are gods in some series. They exist on a higher plane. They are incomprehensible. Some of them shapeshift. Some of them may be amorphous. And some examples of this, if any of you are playing the game Date Everything, nightmares. The game is set up so this is one of your love interests. You are meant to seduce and be seduced by your nightmares in this game. And another example, I'm gonna preface this, I would not have chosen this one. Druga from Pokemon. Again, when I was doing research for this, I found on Reddit a tier list ranking Pokemon on their attraction level. Druga was #1 on the triple S tier. I personally would not have chosen this. Salazzle, Gardevoir, and Labunny make sense up there. Lucario makes sense up there. All of the fucking evolutions need to be taken off of this. I need to discuss that with whoever put this up here. But yeah, Pokemon stands for pocket monsters. Whether these people knew it or not, they were ranking monsters on how fuckable they were. Now, what is the psychology behind the monstrous attraction? It's just in the fact that the monster is meant to represent the something that is othered, the group that is oppressed or that is often met with prejudice. So that is the misunderstood group, and that's what we are supposed to relate to as an audience. And in anime and in horror stories, think of like Frankenstein, we show time and time again that even the most terrifying beings are worthy of love. And that's something that we really relate to in these monster and monster fucker stories. It's because it's meant to be embracing what is considered broken and different or like forbidden. And that leads a sense of emotional safety with the monsters because, again, they are dangerous, but they would never hurt you in this version of like monster stories. And they often have one true love. Because of that, the power dynamic is flipped. Even though they are super powerful, they are putty in their like love interest hands or in the self-insert hands if you're reading any fanfic. And lastly, because of that, there is a way that these monsters resonate with us on an emotional level. Again, I'll say it. It's the would you love me if I was a worm question, just like fully amplified. You are meant to be looking at, in your deepest, darkest moment,
Yes, you are worthy of love. That is essentially what the monster stories tell you. These stories also explore trauma and identity, sometimes redemption, not always, but that is the core basis of monster stories. And that's why in monster stories, whether it be anime or horror, it is a mirror reflecting back on society. So I don't know if anyone is a big fan of horror movies or the horror genre in general, but when Roe v. Wade was being overturned, there was a lot of forced birth that was happening in those horror movies. That's something that we see because even though the world in anime or in these other tales isn't the world that we exist in, the people creating that media do, and it's always meant to reflect back on society. Okay, so this is where we have some audience participation. I am gonna go through and say the levels, and I'm gonna give some examples, and then I want you to cheer for every level up to the one that you are. So if you're level 5, you cheer for every single level. If you're level 2, you just cheer for level 1 and level 2. Again, I'll say it, I'll say some characters, and then I'll have you guys cheer. So the level 1, humanish, reminder, some examples of these are Alucard from Castlevania, Kyo, and really all of the Zodiacs in the Soma family from Fruits Basket, Claude from I'm the Villainess, but I'm Taming the Final Boss, and Aaron Yeager, so give it up for level 1. Okay, level 2 are humanoids. Reminder, these are characters like Benimaru from That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, Frau Torte from I've Been Killing Slimes for 300 Years and maxed out my level, Opera-san from Welcome to Demon School or Rumakun, and Hawks from My Hero Academia. Give it up for level 2. I really want everyone to be in level 3. That's just my personal goal for the end of this. If no one cheers after level 3, I will take that perfectly fine. I want you at least to be monstrous. So as a reminder, these are characters like Sukuna from Jujutsu Kaisen, Elias from Ancient Magus Bride, Ryuk from Death Note, Kaiman from Dorohedoro, and Koro Sensei from Assassination Classroom. Give it up for level 3. Okay, level 4, where I may lose people. This is Beastly. Again, a lot of dragons. So these are Veldra from That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, Ragnarok from Soul Eater. He has multiple different forms. He can shapeshift. This was just the most non-humanoid looking form of his. And again, Chimera Fallon from Dungeon Meshi. So give it up for level 4. And now I really expect silence from level 5. Our otherworldly examples of this are Nightmare from Date Everything, the Forest Spirit in its Nightwalker form from Princess Mononoke, Mudan in its Kaishikai form from Hell's Paradise, and Druga from Pokemon. Give it up for level 5. Couple of fucking freaks in here. I love it. Okay, and that is what I had for tonight. Thank you again, everyone. If you want more anime and manga content, you can find me on TikTok. I swear not everything is this chaotic. Some of it is. A lot of it is, but it's not all. And then if you want cosplay content, you can find me also at Kandruk on Instagram. Again, thank you everyone so much for coming. This was Shounen, Shoujo, and Shenanigans, an unhinged anime analysis for the curious, the chaotic, and the chronically online. For the rest of the time, since we're not gonna be able to take individual Q&As, we're gonna hang out in this library area over here. Feel free to come up, ask any questions you have, any hot takes you may have, any arguments or disagreements you may have. That is where you can find us. Thank you so much.
I had so much fun in this event, and I would 100% do it again because I love anime panels. That's one of my favorite things to do at conventions. So being able to present and engage with panels and these more in-depth anime topics outside of conventions is something I would love to see more of. These were mini anime panels, so there were 3 presentations in an hour and a half rather than just 1, and my topic was the animated monster fucker pipeline. The other 2 topics were on the musical direction of Shinichiro Watanabe, and that presenter actually plays guitar, so they brought their guitar and kind of played along some of the snippets and showed how it flows and kind of influences the fight scenes and more emotional scenes within the anime that Watanabe is the musical director for. And the other panel was so much fun. It was on sports anime through like a BL lens, saying like, hey, this is kind of fruity, and here's clips exactly showing you why it's so fruity. And I absolutely love that one. The crowd was having a really good time. The clips that the presenter chose were amazing, and I think all three of these are also going to be posted on Anime Social Nexus's YouTube channel, so if you want to see the other panels, you should check that out. I'm not entirely sure of when the other videos will get posted because I believe they're currently running into some issues with the musical direction panel and some copyright with music and that sort of thing, so be on the lookout for them. They were really fun panels too. And like I said at the end of season 2 of the Apothecary Diaries, I'm planning to put together a video talking about my background as a medical anthropologist and epidemiologist, looking at what Mao Mao does with her apothecary work, and I think that would be a really fun panel to do if I'm invited back for the future. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know it's not what I've been usually putting out since it's not anime commentary, but I had a really fun time and I would love to do it again. But that is all for today, folks, and I will see you next time.